all, just congratulations to Arizona. I think Coach Brennan and his staff have done a great job this year, and coming in here, had their kids ready to play and prepared, and just to congratulate them first of all. And I think, for us, we just didn't make enough plays today. As the bottom line, you come out 3 points short and or whatever 6 points short, and didn't make enough plays. And I think uncharacteristically, we had some drops today that you got to extend drives. We missed some tackles today. I thought they did a good job in getting a few sets offensively. They gave us some problems in their running game. And then you're not fitting right, you're not tackling good, then they're going to extend their drives, and that's what they were able to do, and stay on the sticks. I think I ended up 8 for 16 and on third down, 50%. And I think, conversely on our side of the ball, early in the game, did some great things running the football, popped some big runs in, and and then we hit a little lull there, and I thought trying to mix it up on first down, throw the football, and we don't complete it. Now you're behind the sticks. The next thing you know is third and long, and that's difficult when you're playing a defense that brings the pressure like they do and plays tight man. And I think you're going to have to be able to make plays when you get the tight man, and we didn't make enough of them today in the passing game. Again, this has been the story all year. Just didn't have the ball enough. We didn't run enough plays, and that obviously hurt us as well. I thought our bright spot, special teams, played outstanding today. We had a 60-some yard punt. We down at the 1 yard line. Steven comes back and knocks a couple field goals down. Block a field goal. So outstanding job by our special teams guys. I thought they played good enough for us to win.
Chan.
What were they able to do that slowed down the run after that early start? You broke a couple big plays. Were they walking linebackers up?
Yeah, what they do, I think we caught them early in the game pretty good in some of the things that they were trying to do, but later on, particularly in the second half, walking backers up, slanting, stunting the guys up front, and bringing safeties down, and I thought, brought some safeties down, so then we're going to try to, make some throws on the outside. We had a skinny little route, we ended up dropping that, and then we throw a long post, that trying to get behind those guys is a great throw by Brendan. And, we don't connect on that one. That was very frustrating. And so you got to be able to make those plays down the field when guys are stacking the box. We know that, and we did not make those plays.
Is Tommy Walker all right? It seems like last week he had or 2 weeks ago, big run, came out, a couple of big runs today, and then just isn't able to do it again. Something different they were doing? Or
I just think defensively, they were able to get a few more guys down in the box later on in the game, and that's why, he still ran hard. I thought Tyree hit some good runs, and they stunted correctly, and they're hitting them right there at the line of scrimmage. And, it just not as big holes as what we had early in the deal, and I think, give them credit for being in the right calls defensively.
Is there a part of you that wants to maybe force it to Joe a little bit more? He had one target, and obviously you guys were very high on him being one of your most dangerous offensive players.
Yeah, we called a couple more, and they were doubling him. And we're not going to force the ball into them when they're double covering him. I think we had more coming into this game maybe than we had the last several games. Early in the game we had a target to them, I bet probably at least 3 other times where we're calling this number and they have a guy outside and a guy inside. And so now we got to take it to the field. And obviously frustration there a little bit, but again, if they're particularly down in yardage, down in distance, if they know we're trying to get him the ball, they did a good job of doubling him. Somebody's got the one-on-one. That's where we got to win, and we didn't win enough out there.
Defensively, was there anything different that you guys tried to get? Because it felt like once Fafita got in a rhythm, a lot of those free access throws, he was just kind of chewing up.
Oh yeah, we tried a lot of different things today. At one time, I remember it was a 4th and 3, and they throw the number 2 receiver from the field. We're too far off. Well, then we tightened down. We brought pressure on 2nd and long, and that's when they hit the touchdown pass on us. And if you don't get home on the pressure, then he's going to have time and just one-on-one. Their guys ended up winning on some of those routes. So he squeaked a few of them in there on some tight windows on 3rd down. We're right there to knock the ball down, and, man, they made some good plays. They hit the ball down the sideline. We're all over them. And one of them, 11, made a one-handed catch there for a long gain. Again, I think they made the plays when they needed to make them. We didn't, and that's the bottom line in this game.
Is there any leading factor that you're seeing that's contributing to Brendan's issues with man coverage this year?
Well, today we got to get more separation from the wide receivers. We got to catch the football. If we do those things, I mean, it's going to be a little bit better, obviously, in the stat line. I mean, I think it takes everybody. I mean, it takes the protection. You got to get open on your route, then he's got to make the throw. I mean, the post ball, I mean, I don't know where, that was a beautiful throw.
You guys had a decent amount of 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6s that you put Arizona in. Seemed like you were playing soft on coverage, and they just ran a quick curl to get a first down. Is that somewhere where it's situational, where you can change it up, or is that just the identity of your defense and you're going to commit?
No, I mean, no, we'd love to tighten it down. You know, and I think if you go back and watch the film, there were a few times we were tightened down, and they still got the ball in there. I mean, we're literally we're trying to do this right here, and the ball goes over, and they catch the ball. I mean, what else you want to do? I mean, you got to knock it down. You know. Now you're talking about that. That's the 4th and 3. It's exactly what I said on the headset. Like, we were too deep on that. They just went up 4 yards, turn around, first down. Like, we got to tighten that down. That's no question about that. But then we did do that several times, and they still got the ball or made the play. You know, so again, that's what I was talking about. Also, you know, we're trying to bring some pressure there, and you know, and we got a couple of guys got loose out there. You know, and those guys made the play. I mean, again, we tried to mix it up. We did a lot of different things with it. You know, and sometimes, you know, if we don't make the play, then it doesn't look like we are, you know, but they did.
The message to the guys now, can you get healthy? Huge game next week.
Yeah.
And you can still get in, but you're kind of looking at the back door now.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, the message to the guys is, you know, we're facing some adversity now. So, you know, really talking to our leaders of our football team, it's easy to lead when things are going good. Now, you know, you face some adversity like we are right now. So how are we going to lead now? Challenge our guys with that. And we got great leadership. So I would expect those guys to, you know, come in tomorrow, want to, you know, let's figure out what we got to get better at watching this film and then move on to BYU. Yeah, they're a good football team coming in here. And so is TCU. We know this league is this way. I mean, you know, this Arizona team coming in here was up 10 on BYU with 4 minutes to go in the game and somehow got it to overtime and lost. I mean, Houston had a walk-off field goal to beat them, you know. So it's a good football team. BYU will be also next week, so we got to come in and get a great plan and try to go out and make plays next week against BYU.
You mentioned special teams every
Yeah.
day. Logan Wilson almost gets in on the punt that's pushed left, and then he does get in on the punt for block. Is there something you saw in that second where he does actually block it that you saw?
Yeah, we were real close early in the game as well on their first one. Yeah, I mean their operation's a little slow. I thought, you know, the one we blocked, the snap was high, and so, you know, but you don't block unless you anticipate you're going to block it. Like, you have to in your mind say, I'm blocking this, because you never know when that snap's going to be a little high. That one was a little bit high. They got it down, and he got a hand on it, but he was really close on the first one as well. I think our coaches did a great job of scheming up, also of, you know, putting those guys in a position to make plays. Obviously, they got to go make it, and Logan was able to go make it.
First play of the game, what was the miscommunication there? It looked like Cyrus was covered.
Yeah, he was covered. You know, that's an indication right there where you just got to take underneath. You know, we had Joe's blocking on that one, and he leaks out late. We just got to take the underneath. We were anticipating a different coverage. They played zone on that, sunk everybody out there, you know, and then we try to force it in there. 43 gets a tip on it, then the corner picks it. But that's an indication right there of just, hey, take what they give us, take it to Joe. And Brendan's done a great job of that all year. Didn't on that play.
Zion Johnson, kind of a nice introduction rushing the ball to UC fans. What has he shown you over the past few weeks to kind of essentially jump up into this role and fill in for Pryor?
You know, I think it really kind of started back in August when one of the scrimmages we had. I thought he had a really good scrimmage, and it was going against, you know, our starting defense. Made some good plays, had some great vision. And then, you know, we had some good running backs, so we put him down on the scout team and let him go down there and go get roughed up against the defense. And you know, I think he may have gotten scout team player of the week maybe 3 times this year already on that side. So he's really shown some great things. And so, you know, when Pryor got dinged, we brought him back on our side, and he's just, man, the last 3 weeks has done a great job at practice. And so we got great faith in him. He's got great vision, and he's got burst, and he can catch the football. It's like, you know, the 4th and 3. That was a big catch out here tonight or today to get that first down. So I think he's an outstanding football player. As more he plays, he's going to get better and better.
Neil, then Keegan.
Coach, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, Micah Coleman had his best game of his career, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack. What did you see from his performance? Obviously, that was a guy that was expecting to come in and have a big role.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see from him today to have that success?
Yeah, I think you know, he's had some flashes throughout the season here where you're like, okay, this guy's going to make some plays for us. And I think it was good today for him to go out there. I think early in there, he got a big sack early in the game, and you saw him in the backfield quite a bit. He's got great size, great length. He's got some twitch about him as well. So I think he can be that kind of player to where he shows up like this and gets him off the, gets him some tackles for loss and some sacks. So, it was good to see him, actually doing that today.
It's a layered question. What's Goody's injury? How close are him and Pryor to coming back? And did you realize that they might have made more of a difference in the offense over the past 2 weeks than?
Yeah, I mean, that's two big playmakers, man. I mean, obviously Goody, even if Goody doesn't make catches, he threatens the defense because of speed, and you have to know where he's at. He'll be back next week, barring anything, but he'll be back next week. And I think Pryor was really close this week. Pryor's had that ankle deal he's been dealing with, and so, but I think he's, I would almost say he's going to be back as well. Now, obviously, we got to continue on the protocol and all that type of stuff with Pryor, but I thought he was really, really close this week. So we'll see how he continues to progress. But those are two big time playmakers for us that we count on, with great experience. And so, not having those guys offensively certainly hurts us.
Is Goody the hamstring that he had in the spring?
No. Goody's was a upper type injury.
JT?
Arizona held you guys at 3 of 12 on third down. Was there doing anything different on that down that kind of gave you guys problems?
Yeah, we just didn't make the plays, man. I mean, it's really, I think go third and, the throwing and catching versus tight coverage and pressure coverage, we didn't do a very good job with it. Now, a couple of those, which is a little bit misleading, we were 3 for 4 in the fourth down. The last one was the really long fourth down, but we were 3 for 3 prior to that, so we were sequencing a little bit, just to get it close to the stick so we can go for it on fourth down. But yeah, you're right. You'd love to be able to have a higher percentage on third down to keep the drives alive.
And then defending the third down, it seemed like the one area your team was doing really well stopping them was the red zone. Do you feel like you were calling anything more aggressive, or why was your defense defending better with a shorter field?
Yeah, we've done that all year. I think our defense, as we've talked about it, we give up yards and then they get in the red zone and then we tighten everything. It's tightened up. There's a lot more shorter spaces when that happens. And I think that's a thing that's been our strength this year defensively is to force guys in field goal opportunities in the red zone. So yeah, I mean, we just got to get better, outside the red zone, and try to knock the ball down and get them off the field and in those situations.
Any other questions? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.